Hey guys, we just want to send you this video. This video is being made only for those that are our monthly partners and those that are connected with us at a more family level, those who have subscribed to our emails, things like that. We just want to talk to you guys a little bit about just a shift that we're feeling in our own lives and just some of the decisions that we're making here in Kansas City to move forward in what it is that we feel like the Lord has for us. And so go ahead, I'm gonna have my wife just begin to talk for a minute about some of the stuff that she's been feeling, and then I'm gonna come in and just talk about what we're doing.
Yeah, so the last year, we've been a part of the evangelism department for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been on staff. I've never been on staff. So I've just been full-time mom. And at least for the last year, it's kind of felt like I've never really felt super connected to the evangelism department. I've never had any role. It's always made sense because Josh is an evangelist. So it was like that's where we're supposed to be. And so we served and but just in the last year, just feeling like it just wasn't where we were needing to go any longer. And so for us, it was just kind of like feeling like there was a transition, and it was like a waiting period where something was coming. We didn't know what that looked like, but we knew something was coming. I had a lot of dreams, and I just felt personally that there was just going to be a lot of like offers and opportunities for us this coming year. And so
Yeah.
Josh can share a little bit about what was going on in his heart, but in the last 6 weeks, it kind of just abruptly came to us, kind of fell in our laps, and it just kind of made sense. And so I don't know if you want to jump in, and then I can finish just kind of where that left us.
Yeah, so really, most of you guys all know for the last, 3 years now, 4 years, I've been traveling very extensively, preaching at conferences, leading outreaches, doing different things, and it's been an interesting dynamic to walk out because I've been at IHOP for 6 years now, and a lot of times when people come to Kansas City to be a part of IHOP, they fully give themselves to IHOP, and so they have a 45-hour-a-week schedule, and they're in the prayer room, and then they're doing something that's benefiting the mission space to keep going. I love that, and that's amazing, but I've never felt that Anna calling that Mike Bickle always talks about, or the intercessory missionary, but though in my DNA, it's the prayer movement is everything to me. And so just been in this limbo for the last few years of traveling and preaching on revival and calling the church to do the stuff and going out and evangelizing, all those things, but then my heart just over the years has been getting more and more and more plumb line to why the house of prayer, why we're here. And so it's just been an interesting dynamic in staying in the evangelism department almost for the wrong reasons sometimes. Mm-hmm. We fully love everything the evangelism department is doing, and we're fully backing them 100%, but my own heart just was for the last couple of years hasn't been alive for it. And so been holding on because, well, what else would I do at IHOP? And then also just my spiritual father, Hal Linhart, who's the boss, who's the director of evangelism, has really given me a grace to be able to go and travel, which if I was tied down to a extreme commitment at IHOP, I wouldn't be able to go and do what it is that I feel like I'm called to do. And so it's just been this swirl that we've been in. And my wife has felt a little bit more not at ease than I have, just because she's on the back end going, okay, what's next? And I'm just kind of in the busyness of everything. Well, in the last year, this 2015 was a major shift for me. I started a 21-day fast in January of 2015 that just put a fire in me like I've never had before, and just the value of fasting and praying and the prayer movement and that whole reality. And it was during the beginning of last year that another thing began to happen was in the prayer room at IHOP, we have a Wednesday 10 a.m. prayer set, and it's for revival on college campuses. And the Lord has been breathing on that prayer meeting more than any prayer meeting of the week. And Mike Bickle's saying it, Alan's saying it, Corey's saying it. Everyone is saying there's something on this prayer meeting. Even logistically, there's like thousands of more viewers on the web stream that are watching that specific prayer set. And I began to ask the question. I would come home all the time saying, honey, the Wednesday 10 a.m. keeps blowing up. God is doing something with college campuses, And so my own heart was like, God, what are you saying? And then Ty Lamb, who's the director of the Luke 18 Project, has been a lot this year coming to me and having me speak at events. And so, I spoke at their summer leadership program, and I'm like, okay, my heart was just beginning to get stirred because I did the Luke 18 Project 4 years ago, but it just was in a different place, and I wasn't really called at that season. And so my heart's just getting stirred. I'm like, okay, what are you saying? And so a funny little prophetic thing happened in the beginning of December, so just a month ago. it was our Wednesday 10 a.m. prayer meeting, praying for college campuses, and they broke out into small group prayer. And so Ty and somebody else were in a little huddle praying, and the Lord spoke to me and said, I want you to go pray with them in their huddle. And so I was like, oh, okay, that was the Lord. And as I got up and started walking to go pray with them, I literally saw a vision. And I'm not big, I don't see visions that often, but I literally saw a vision. I saw me praying in the group with them. I saw Ty give me this look while I was praying. And then I saw Ty bringing me into a side room and saying, what do you think about being a part of Luke 18 again? And sure enough, everything that I saw in the picture happened. I prayed with him. Ty gave me the look. The Lord spoke to Ty and said, ask Josh about Luke 18. We ended up in a side room. And I said, let's meet about it in the new year. And so Ty said, well, in the meantime, I'd love to have you speak at our Campus Awakening Summit, January 1st and 2nd. It was Mike Bickle, Alan Hood, Corey Russell, myself, David Perkins, other people. And God broke out at this thing. It would take me too long to explain it all. Point being is God broke out in travail at almost every session. And I just watched college campus students and leaders weeping for their campuses. And I knew right then and there that I needed to jump on board. But there were so many, in my own heart, it was like, I need to jump on board, but I'm called to travel. I'm not called to fully establish prayer rooms on college campuses necessarily. Though I want to push people into that, it's just not the forefront of me. So God, if you're going to have me do this, Ty's going to have to give me grace to still travel, be a voice, be a leader, but not necessarily give myself fully to, the ins and outs of the administrative planning. And when I met with Ty, everything that I needed to happen happened. And he's like, no, dude, you're a voice. We want to bring you on as a leader, as a voice. I'm not expecting you to sit in administrative meetings all day. Not that I don't need to be involved with those things, but just my own wiring and gifting and calling is not administrative. And so everything we needed to see come into place came into place. Mm-hmm. And so that leaves us here. And, this is about a week ago they made the decision. I met with my, spiritual moms and dads of the evangelism department, and they both felt God on it. They said, I think this is the Lord, Josh. I think you're moving forward into what you're called to do. And so we're just excited for this year, and we don't really know right now. There's not a whole ton of stuff that I'm doing necessarily with college campuses in the next few months because I have a lot of travel ahead. But we're excited, and it's just going to be a really cool season. And you can even just share, when I came home and said, honey, I think it's official, just your own peace in your heart. And
yeah, there was an unsettling, just, at least I had said the whole year, but specifically just in the last couple months even, Josh was just kind of preparing me for this next year, just being I think we're going to have our hands in a lot of things. And I'm that's really unsettling to me. That doesn't sit well. I want to be plugged in. And I think the biggest, cry in my heart was to be plugged in together somewhere here locally. IHOP, it was almost because he did so much traveling and I wasn't connected to anything at IHOP, it was why don't we just move? Why don't we go somewhere where it's going to be more fruitful for me? And so for the first time, I feel I'm settled and I'm connected, and I feel I can give myself to Luke 18 in a way that I couldn't do with the evangelism department. And so we're just really excited. And
we're excited. On a practical level locally, 4 years ago, I helped pioneer a prayer room on UMKC's campus that is still going today. And so I know that I'm going to be down there at least once a week, praying with the students and just contending for revival. And then they do a Wednesday night Ignite. It's called Ignite service, and it's a church service that they do for college students on the campus. And so I'm going to be in the monthly rotation. I'm going to preach every month, and I really think I'm going to bring a piece to the puzzle of just the students, not the staff, but the students just being activated in their identity as sons of God, just praying for the sick, witnessing to their professors, and just tearing up their campuses on a practical lifestyle level, not even on outreach necessarily, just whatever. And I'm obviously going to be one of the keynote speakers at everything Luke 18 does from here on out. But we just know that God is saying something about college campuses. I personally, and my wife too, we're both on a 40-day fast right now. The Lord spoke to me in December and said, you need to ask me for a spirit of prayer. And so I'm reorganizing my whole life this year. I'm still going to be evangelizing. I'm still going to be praying for the sick. I'm still going to be doing all of that. I'm still going to be equipping the people to go do the stuff. We got Love Detroit coming up. I'm still going to be doing all of that stuff, but I am redirecting everything in my life right now on this 40-day fast specifically and saying, God, I have to get a spirit of prayer in my life. some people might look at me and go, oh, you're out healing the sick? I want to do that. That's amazing. I wish I was doing that. I'm looking at them going, dude, you're on your face praying 5 hours a day. That's intense, you know? And so my own desires in my heart are shifting, and I want to truly be found before the Lord as a real intercessor before him, as someone who stands with him in long hours of the day, in an intimacy level, and then in an outward level of just praying and fasting for the nation and just catching God's heart for things through prayer. And so exciting year ahead of us, and it's going to be really awesome. And so we hope you guys are excited with us, and it's going to be a good time. And we just thank all of you that are watching this. You guys have come alongside of us all of these years with monthly partnership and all of those things, and we hope that this continues. And we're just excited for the future, and we just can't thank you enough. We can't do any of this without your partners, whether you're a $20 a month partner or you're a $500 a month partner. We don't even have one of those, but you know, whatever size you are, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're $20 a month, you're filling our gas tank one week. You know, all of that stuff adds up, and so we seriously are so thankful beyond what you could imagine. Without you guys, we can't function. And so, 2016, God send revival to America and college campuses. Amen.